for this Giants offense, playing right into the hands of the Lions defense. You can already see the Lions defense, they want press man across the board. All of their corners are lined up, man coverage on the receivers.
5.5 remaining. 3rd down and 17. Winston stays on his feet, directing traffic. Now he throws, and it's caught. Wow! Theo Johnson on 3rd down and 17 makes the play for a Giants first down in Lions territory.
Yeah, you're just watching the rush, and it played perfectly into the hands of the Lions defense. They have tight man, so you know it's going to take a little longer for these guys to get open. You get the rush. They don't get Jameis down. He keeps his eyes downfield, and Theo Johnson, one of his favorite go-to guys, again coming up with a big play for the Giants.
39 yards from Winston to Johnson on 3rd and 17 to keep this drive alive for the Giants. From the Lions 18, this is Tracy. And Tyrone Tracy picks up 3. Jack Campbell made the tackle. Now 4.5 remaining. A huge play. If the Giants had not converted, they would have punted it back to the Lions.
Look at that, 10 catches of 20-plus yards today.
Wow.
The most since 1991. And I mentioned Jameis Winston, a special type of quarterback to sit in there. You just saw exactly what I was talking about. He beats the rush, keeps his eyes downfield, cool, calm, collected. Throws a beautiful ball to Theo Johnson. He's been doing that all game today.
2nd down and 7. Here's Tracy. Tracy inside the 10. Still going. Picks up a Giants first down.
Yeah, look how many yards they're getting. Kenny, remember I said that the offensive line just leaning on the Lions defense? Look at that. The first time he gets touched was 6 yards down the field. Brian Branch can't bring him down. Tyrone Tracy, he's still churning those legs. This is a tired Lions front 7. They're getting beat off the ball by this front 5 of the Giants offensive line. Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary, they're the ones getting some nice yards with this offense leaning on them.
First and goal from the Lions 4. Tracy.
There's defensive coordinator Kelvin Shepard.
Timeout taken by the Lions. Detroit had not allowed a 300-yard passer all season. Jameis Winston has thrown for 344 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also has the TD reception. Russell Wilson started the first 3 games. Jackson Dart, the rookie, the next 7. But still in concussion protocol, so it's been Winston these last 2. Kelvin Shepard played for the Giants in 2016 and 17. Steve Spagnuolo, their longtime defensive coordinator, one of his mentors, one of the big reasons that Shepard went into the coaching profession.
That's right. He models his defense like between Aaron Glenn and Steve Spagnuolo. And look at the time of possession. New York Giants just been running the ball and making some timely big plays. 2nd and goal. Fake to Singletary. Winston incomplete, looking for Theo Johnson, so the clock stops. Yeah, I don't like that play. I want to see them run the football, force the Lions to use a timeout, or run 40 more seconds off the play clock. And you see the throw just outside the reach of Theo Johnson. You know he wants to go to him, but again, Mike Kafka, look, I don't like that call, but this whole game, outstanding. Completely outstanding. I mean, he's done a tremendous job of play calling, been very patient the whole time. Now is the time you force these guys to take their timeouts.
3 tight ends for the Giants. And an extra blocker, Stinney. There's Singletary, nowhere to go. So the Lions defense coming up big on 3rd down to stop Devin Singletary. Aiden Hutchinson along with Derek Barnes. 2nd timeout taken by the Lions. So with the Giants leading by 3, for the moment, the offense remains out on the field. The field goal would make it a 6-point game. Detroit could go ahead with a touchdown and an extra point, so it looks like the Giants going for it on 4th down.
Yeah, I don't like that call either. I'd rather them take the points and then rely on your defense. The defense has done a nice job today. The Lions have put up 24 points, but it has been a struggle offensively for the Lions. It was feast or famine basically the whole game, aside from Jahmyr Gibbs having these outstanding runs. There wasn't much offensively.
So instead of attempting a field goal, which would extend the lead to 6, 4th and goal. Winston looking, throws, and it's incomplete. Off the hands of Johnson. So it remains a 3-point game. And Detroit will take over deep in their own territory.
Yeah, again, I don't like the call. You see Jameis Winston, he was going to go to either Wan'Dale Robinson or Theo Johnson. We knew that. Rock is sitting right there with the pass breakup, but now you have the Detroit Lions who can just get down the field, kick a field goal to tie the game as opposed to needing a touchdown.
Right, if the Giants kick the field goal, Lions would need a touchdown, but now just need to get into field goal range to tie it.
Yeah, I don't like their 2nd down call, which was a pass. Didn't like that. Didn't like them going for it on 4th down. Aside from that, though, as I mentioned before, Kafka, he's done a tremendous job today. It was really good play calling, great scheme that they had. Now Jared Goff, 21 game-winning drives in the 4th quarter OT. Last time he did it was against the Baltimore Ravens. He's got an opportunity here.
Worse starting field position for the Lions. Then they have only one timeout. Goff from the end zone. Pass is complete to the tight end, Brock Wright, as we check in with Carissa.
Thank you, Kenny. Letting you guys know what's coming up next. It's America's Game of the Week, a classic NFC East battle. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles looking for their 5th straight win and quieting those critics, taking on Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. It's all coming up next. It's America's Game of the Week. Kenny?
All right, thanks, Carissa. We look forward to it.
Giants have a defender down right now. See, the trainers are attending to him. It looks like it's Drew Phillips. He just got up. He was the one that just made the tackle on Brock Wright. There's Drew Phillips. He's going, taking the legs out of Brock Wright, trying to keep him in bounds so the clock would run.
So Phillips will be helped across to the Giants sideline.
They're already out. Deonte Banks today, he's inactive. Paulson Adebo, one of their starting corners, he's not here either. And so you're looking at them playing, either Corey Black, Nick Jones has been coming in as well.
4 losses after leading in the 4th quarter this season. Giants have not trailed today. They've led 10-0, 17-7, 27-17. 2nd down and 6. 2:50 on the clock. Goff under pressure on 2nd down. Flag is thrown as Goff steps out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
Holding, offense, number 68. Penalties half the distance to the goal. Replay 2nd down.
Taylor Decker, the left tackle.
Brian Burns is such a smart player. He goes up the field, up the field, up the field. Now, 4th quarter, up and under. When he does that, you get the holding call on Taylor Decker, flush Jared Goff out the pocket, and that brings up a 2nd and long for the Detroit Lions. Brian Burns, very smart player, and he's able to do it all. I mentioned him rushing the passer as he's doing now, where he should be, obviously, but he can also drop back. He plays the run well, but I like how smart he is. It's a chess match for him.
2nd down and 11. Goff from the end zone. Catch made by Gibbs, and he picks up a Lions 1st down out to the 18-yard line.
Still have the 2-minute warning and 1 timeout. And anybody wondering why the Lions aren't rushing, there's really no need to rush right now. They can get another play in before the 2-minute warning and then still have that timeout to rely on, since they only need a field goal instead of, had the Giants kicked the field goal and made it, a touchdown.
From the 18 on first down. Pass incomplete. Clock stops at 2:07.
Yeah, the Giants are looking for intentional grounding, but he got outside the tackle box, and the ball did get across the line of scrimmage, so no intentional grounding. Meanwhile, Brian Burns, he's going to take a rest. Dexter Lawrence is also going to come out. Seeing where they're going to generate their pass rush from. It's going to be Abdul Carter. It's going to be at the bottom of the screen, and Chauncey Golston. So got Abdul Carter right down here. See if he can generate pressure on Jared Goff.
Goff on second down. And wrapped up about a yard shy of the marker is Amon-Ra St. Brown. As we hit the 2-minute warning in Detroit. 3rd down and 1 for the Lions.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Ford.
Nearly 900 yards of total offense in Detroit today. Jameis Winston to Wan'Dale Robinson. Amon-Ra St. Brown into the end zone. Also reached the 500 reception mark. Winston back in the end zone. Isaiah Hutchins. And then how about Gunnar Olszewski? First pass attempt of his career. First reception for Jameis Winston. 2 Giants touchdowns on trick plays, and then Jahmyr Gibbs took this one 49 yards. Now on 3rd and short, Lions pick up the first down. It's Gibbs down to 1:50. Winston 344 yards. Goff a couple of touchdown passes. Big plays throughout. And now Detroit looking to get into field goal range. St. Brown makes the catch. Bates, career long is 58 yards. State Farm game break coming up, so they would have to get to the Giants 40. They need about 22 yards to get up to field goal range. It's St. Brown again. Lions have 1 timeout, down to 1:15.
You know, if I'm Shane Bowen right now, as they're going to spike the ball, I would start to play press man and make these throws tighter for Jared Goff. We saw last week versus the Eagles, they played press man basically the whole time, made it very difficult for Goff. He had his worst completion day probably in his career, now that I think about it. And you come back now, I'm looking at Shane Bowen and what they're doing defensively. It's really passive, right? He's hoping that Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Abdul Carter can get there with a 4-man rush. But in a 2-minute drill, look, they get tired just like the wide receivers get tired, right? So the rush may not be as strong, and you got to do something to help them. So you play press man, make those throws tighter, or make Goff have to pat the ball one time maybe, and go from there.
Now they're forced to take their final timeout.
Final timeout, Detroit.
With the clock stopped after they spiked it. Play clock ran all the way down. Our Fox NFL doubleheader continues with America's Game of the Week. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. Some of you will see the Falcons and the Saints. Check local listings for the game in your area right here on Fox. How about that note at the bottom? Dak Prescott 21-2 at home against division opponents.
Amazing. Amazing. Talk about dominance. Meanwhile, the Detroit Lions just lost their timeout.
Out of timeouts.
Because of the play clock. It ran down.
2nd down and 10. It's Gibbs. Picks up the Lions first down. Gain of 12, and now a flag.
All of the Lions players are signaling it's against the Giants. They might have messed with the football or something.
After the play, delay a game. New York knocked the ball out of the player's hand, delaying the game. Number 8, the 5-yard penalty, first down.
So that's Javon Holland.
So he makes the tackle, and then he's trying to slow the game down. He knocks the ball out of Jahmyr Gibbs' hand. You can't do that, especially not in front of the official. So they get a delay of game, and what it does is it stops the clock, and it gives the Detroit Lions an extra 5 yards.
So now the line of scrimmage, the 36. It would be a 54-yard field goal from here. Goff on first down, incomplete. Diving attempt made by the rookie Isaac Teslow.
I just mentioned Abdul Carter. He's going to get very low and around. Taylor Decker gets a shot on Jared Goff. Brian Burns is there as well. Doesn't allow him to follow through with that throw.
Fans reacting to the replay on the
they thought
big
that
screen.
Burns hit Jared Goff in the head, right?
There's Bates. His career long 58. 2nd and 5. Final minute, fourth quarter. Lions with no timeouts. Goff swings it out, and then
Nice
Dane
tackle.
Belton takes down Jahmyr Gibbs. They lose 5 yards on the play.
That was a poor decision by Jared Goff. It was going to get them nowhere. Plus, he's inbounds, and the clock is still winding down.
Now 3rd down and 10. Goff looking, pass incomplete. So now it's 4th down, and thanks to that play that enabled the Giants to force a loss of 5 yards, it will be a 59-yard attempt. Would have been 54 if not for that.
Well, what I like
a couple ago.
Yeah, I like the switch up by Shane Bowen, defensive coordinator. What you saw was man coverage finally, as opposed to zone coverage. So Dane Belton had Jahmyr Gibbs man coverage. They get the 5-yard tackle for loss. And then that time, Zaire Barnes, he had man coverage as well, forcing down the 4th down.
So here's Bates from 59. It is good.
I mean, even Mike Kafka had to smile at that one. Career-long 59-yarder. He put everything he had into this kick. It looks like it's going to bend wide. Kind of curls back inside. Just sneaks in there.
Matching a franchise record. Matt Prater with 2 59-yard field goals for the Lions. And they have tied this game at 27.
Man, gets no closer than that. Bent it right back inside. But we have to go back to Mike Kafka going for it on 4th down as opposed to kicking the field goal. They would have been up 6, and then the Lions would have had to have gone for it on that 4th and long, trying to get a touchdown to win the game as opposed to kicking that 59-yarder to tie the game. Now, the Giants do have 3 timeouts, 28 seconds.
Olszewski on the return. Out to the 32.
So they have 3 timeouts, 24 seconds. And what we've seen all game is Jameis Winston hitting these big shots to Theo Johnson, big shots to Wendell Robinson. They have had all these chunk plays. I can see them being very aggressive going forward to try to get a 4th field goal.
That was a smart play on the kickoff by the Lions. They kept it out of the end zone, so they gained 3 yards. Giants would have gotten it at the 35, and they also took time off the clock.
That's correct. Took off 4 seconds. Go-to guys have been Theo Johnson, Wandale Robinson for Jameis Winston.
Giants have all 3 timeouts from the 32. Winston throws.
Oh, what a play.
Robinson, the intended receiver.
What a play. Amik Robertson, that's actually cover 2. Amik Robertson almost baited Jameis Winston into that. So just watch what he does here as far as falling back. That is a tremendous play by Amik Robertson. They've run that so many times, and they've had it open so many times. This time, great individual effort by Amik Robertson for that pass breakup.
Giants need about 28 yards to get it to field goal range for Koo. Winston off his back foot. Pass incomplete.
Flag on the play.
He was looking for Hutchinson.
Illegal hands to the face, defense, offense, number 72. It's a 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
That's on the right tackle, Jermaine Illuminor.
Yeah, now it's about the time where you say, okay, we'll just run the football and take it to overtime. By the way, Jermaine Illuminor, he's had a phenomenal game today. He's done a tremendous job against Aiden Hutchinson and the rest of this pass rushing Lions defense. We haven't heard anything of Aiden Hutchinson today. He hasn't done much. Got to give credit to the offensive line. And then there we go. Offense, they're going to take a knee and take it into overtime.
Giants led most of the way. Lions tied it on the 59-yard Bates field goal. So this game will head to overtime in Detroit. Bates tying a franchise record from 59 yards out moments ago. Coin toss coming up. Both teams with the opportunity to possess. 1 10-minute period, 2 timeouts per team. All replays initiated from the booth. And for our crew, Jonathan, back-to-back overtimes in different countries. Madrid last week.
You're right. You're right. Went across
Commanders
the
and
pond.
Dolphins.
Yeah, went across the pond. Had the international game. Boy, was that a fun time. Madrid was a great city. Really enjoyed it, and now we got overtime here. It's been a very kind of up and down game. You kind of look at it from the Giants' perspective. Really proud of the way that they played, how hard they played. Interim head coach Mike Kafka, he was phenomenal to talk with.
1 10-minute overtime period. Both teams will have the opportunity to possess the ball unless the first team scores, unless there's a safety on the first possession, or one team holds the ball for all 10 minutes. Each team is allowed 2 timeouts, fourth quarter time rules apply, and all replays are initiated from the replay booth. New York, visiting team, the line is heads, the NFL shield is tails. What is it called? Tails. Called tails. It is tails. You won the toss. You want to kick the ball and you want to kick it that way. Yep.
So Russell Wilson makes the correct call on the coin toss. Overtime from Detroit. Next. Last time the Detroit Lions lost back-to-back games, middle of the 2022 season. Lost last week in Philadelphia. And now overtime. First time this season for the Lions. Giants, week 2, lost in overtime at Dallas, 40-37.
Giants were up 27-17. Beginning of the fourth quarter. Lions fought back.
Giants, had they kicked a field goal, would have got up by 6.
Yep.
There's Sailors on the return. Instead, the Lions defense stopped them. And then Bates matched the franchise record with a 59-yard field goal to tie this game. And now Goff and the Lions offense, first possession of overtime.
Yeah, very interesting. Giants defense. DJ Davidson is in right now, not Dexter Lawrence. So you have all the starters in there except for Dexter Lawrence. And I don't see him on the sideline, so I'm going to keep watching that.
There's Gibbs on first down. Jahmyr Gibbs across midfield. One man to beat. Inside the 20, the 10. Touchdown on the first play from scrimmage. In overtime. Remember, the Giants will have an opportunity. Gibbs takes it 69 yards.
And that's why I mentioned Dexter Lawrence not being in the game. There was nobody to plug the middle of this defense. You just watch how they're hooking the defensive line. They stunt one way, they get out there, get out leverage. Nobody touches Jahmyr Gibbs. That is inexcusable Giants defense. Nobody touches the best running back in the league right now. He has burst on the scene for about 5 of these long runs today, touchdowns. Unbelievable. Nice play by Jahmyr Gibbs. Terrible defense by the Giants.
He has touchdown runs of 49 and 69 yards. A career high 219 yards on the ground for Gibbs today.
Amazing. Amazing. Amazing how fast he is. Amazing how well he runs between the tackles. Amazing the offensive line, what they did today. And look at the touchdowns today. The bottom three, 33-yard TD reception, 49-yard rush, 69-yard rush. He would have had another rushing touchdown. He got stopped right at the 1-yard line. Ended up getting a touchdown after that as well.
The Hall of Famer Barry Sanders once rushed for 237, once rushed for 220. Gibbs now third on the Lions all-time list with 219 yards on the ground today.
Dan Campbell said he is special. He is something special. Every time he touches the football, he felt like he could take it the distance, and we've seen that happen today multiple times. Still scratching my head why Dexter Lawrence was not in the game to start overtime. They could have used him there to plug up the middle.
So now an opportunity for the Giants, who trail for the first time today. Led by 10 early in the fourth quarter following the touchdown reception by Jameis Winston. Here's Eric Gray. So now the Giants need a touchdown and an extra point.
Look, they've had their explosive plays. It's just been a little different. It hasn't been, the run game being able to do it. It's been Jameis Winston. So they're going to rely on him and his big arm. See if he can get the ball to Theo Johnson, Wan'Dale Robinson. Those two guys have been outstanding today.
Looking ahead, if the Giants do reach the end zone, do they go for two?
I would. Why not?
Need to drive 70 yards. Trailing by 7 in overtime. Off the fake to Tracy. Winston's pass. It's Bellinger. Diving attempt. And Bellinger is down.
So Bellinger almost had it. That ball clearly touches the ground. Then, of course, he was not able to corral it. He's up. Looks like he probably landed on the ball and wincing a little bit in pain there. Meanwhile, that's a devastated defense. They have played really good football, again, up until the fourth quarter. It's been their Achilles heel all season long.
Same script as in so many of their games this season, especially on the road. 2nd and 10. Here's Tracy, tried to bounce it to the outside, and he's taken down by Anzalone. Short gain on the play. There's Dexter Lawrence, who you were talking about a minute ago.
Yeah, it's so frustrating because they have some really, really talented players on the defense. Dexter Lawrence being one of, if not the best, one-technique defensive tackles in the game. We've mentioned Brian Burns. He's having a career year. And then you have some other players that are doing well, but together, they're just not there as a unit when it comes to the fourth quarter.
3rd down and 10 for Jameis Winston and the Giants. Winston's pass incomplete. Hutchinson, the intended receiver, and now it comes down to this. 4th down.
I'd go back to that bunch play with Wan'Dale Robinson. They like to bunch up the receivers. Get him on a corner route. Try to clear out. See if Amik Robinson can make that spectacular play again. If not, it'll be a completion.
Giants must pick up the 1st down. Trailing by 7 in overtime. They pump up the play clock. Winston on 4th down. Flag on the play as Winston picks up 1st down yardage with his feet. There is a flag. Winston gains 11 out of bounds at the 41.
Defense number 54. lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
That's a Liam McNeil penalty decline. And Winston keeps this game alive for the Giants with an 11-yard first down run.
Yeah, it was press man by the Detroit Lions. Jameis recognized that as soon as he got out of the pocket, there was going to be nobody there. They would get that first down.
Record-setting number of games with a game-winning score the final 2 minutes of the fourth or overtime over the first 11 weeks of the NFL season. Giants need a touchdown from the 41. The fake to Tracy. And then Winston throws. It's Theo Johnson, the tight end, who comes down with it in Lions territory.
Let's see if he comes down with it. Nice reception, nice hands. Theo Johnson, left leg down, right leg inbounds.
Gain of 14.
He maintains possession of that.
So Winston converted on the 4th and 10.
Yeah, but Theo's
Johnson
now
shaken
out.
up.
Yeah.
From the Detroit 45, Devin Singletary picks up 5 yards down to the 40.
This goes back to them just running their normal offense. They've been doing this all game long. Nice mix of run and pass. Theo Johnson is back in the game for the Giants. And then now the defense, Lions, they're starting to trade out some of those defensive linemen as well. You can see they're starting to breathe a little heavy. And I mentioned that this offensive line, they lose the game, that's fine, but it's not on them because they played really good football today.
Over 1,000 yards of offense today in Detroit. Here's Singletary to the Lions 37. Third down and short coming up for the Giants.
Tyrone Tracy's coming in for Devin Singletary. Wan'Dale Robinson comes back in. Now this is 3rd and short. You really have your option. You can do a run play, knowing you can go for it on 4th down. You can try a quick hitter with Wan'Dale Robinson. One thing we haven't talked about is how sudden he is in the short and intermediate routes. We've seen him on all the big plays, but he is really good at the slants, these option routes as well.
Play clock at 2. Kafka trying to call timeout. And he did. He was sprinting up the sideline to get the attention of the officials. And the Giants use a timeout here in overtime, trailing the Detroit Lions by 7. What a game. Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, overtime here in Detroit, over 1,000 yards of offense. Giants with touchdowns on 2 trick plays, a 59-yard field goal to tie it by Bates of the Lions, and then a 69-yard touchdown run by Gibbs on the first play of OT.
It has been extremely exciting, and then just watching the way that the Lions responded every time, right? The Lions would see the Giants go, they'd make a big play, then somehow the Lions would come back, they'd make a big play as well. And I just keep going back to the start of this fourth quarter. It was 27-17, now in overtime. First time that the Giants are losing in this game.
3rd down and 2. Winston complete. It's Tracy. Picks up a Giants first down.
Yeah, and that's a nice play call by Mike Kafka. It really gives Jameis Winston the option to run or pass, right? Like, he could have run for that. Didn't have to. Tracy is out there, throws it, gets the completion.
Remember, the Giants were down to their final play, 4th and 10. Game would have been over had the Lions stopped them. Winston picked up the first. Giants now over 500 yards of offense. New set of downs as Winston swings it out to Robinson. That's his 9th catch. Wan'Dale Robinson has a touchdown.
He thought he was going to have Theo Johnson screaming down the seam. It wasn't there. It was nice defense by nice eyes by the Lions defense. And he swings it out to Wan'Dale Robinson for a couple yards. I see them going back to the running game. The 2nd down. Try to make it a 3rd and manageable, knowing that you'll have 2 downs to go for it.
10th play of the drive in overtime. 2nd down and 7. Winston's pass incomplete. Looking for a diving Wan'Dale Robinson.
This time, Jameis just put a little too much on it for Wan'Dale, and they have been connecting all game long. Usually that would have been a completion. See, Jameis, wish he would have that one back. Brings up this 3rd and long, but again, they're going to go for it on 4th down if they don't convert here. So really no panic. Just run your offense the way you've been doing.
3rd down and 7 for the Giants. Trailing by 7 in overtime. It's Tracy. So now another 4th down coming up. If they do not convert, the Lions will celebrate.
And I know defensive coordinator Kelvin Shepard, he likes his press man. That's his bread and butter. If I'm him, I will show press man, drop back in zone, because I don't want Jameis Winston to have the opportunity to escape the pocket and then run for a 1st down again.
Giants must convert here. 4th down and 5. Must get to the 22-yard line of Detroit. Winston looking on 4th down. He's wrapped up, and down he goes. Aiden Hutchinson with the exclamation point in an overtime victory for the Detroit Lions.
Just watch the relentless effort of Aiden Hutchinson. He keeps going, circles back. Jameis Winston tries to get out of the pocket. Nobody to throw to. And Aiden Hutchinson, the captain that he is, puts an exclamation point on the game. What a way to come back.
The Lions win at 34-27 in overtime. For Jonathan Vilma and Megan O'Leary, I'm Kenny Albert. America's Game of the Week next.